ग्वालियर से सरदार जनकोजी शिंदे और सरदार दत्ताजी शिंदे, इंदौर से सरदार मल्हार राव होळकर।
बोल धरती जयकारा, गगन है सारा गूंजा रे। जग में लहराया न्यारा ध्वज है हमारा ऊंचा रे।
हम वो योद्धा वो निडर, हम जो भी दिशा में जाए,
सारे पथ चरण छुए और पर्वत शीस नवाए।
रास्ते से हट जाए नदियां हो के हवाए।
हम है जियाले जीतने को, हम रण में उतरते हैं। हम सूरज है अंत, हम ही रातों का करते हैं। युग युग की जंजीरों को हमने ही काटा रे। बोल उठा ये जग सारा, जय मर्द मराठा रे।
जो रक्त है तन में बहता,
वो हमसे है ये कहता।
सम्मान के बदले जान भी दे तो नहीं है घाटा रे।
युग युग की जंजीरों को हमने ही काटा रे। बोल उठा ये जग सारा, जय मर्द मराठा रे। युग युग की जंजीरों को हमने ही काटा रे। बोल उठा ये जग सारा, जय मर्द मराठा रे।
जो भी हो और बाकी वक्त पे ही छोड़ देना। तेरा साथी वो लेके जाएगा वो आगे आगे, नहीं सुबह तेरे लिए जागे, नहीं जल से बांधे गए तूने धागे। तेरे हौसलों में पाने नहीं है मंजिल।
I do this for my people, I don't do this for the fame. I was born with the game, you weren't born the same. I do this for my people, I don't do this for the fame. You keep chains, keep the change, just give me my reign. And leave me my lane, and just remember my name.
Welcome to the stream, man. This is in for Telcanies of Telcanies Sports Media. This is a blessed Sunday here. For my guys in the UK, I'm sure it's in the late PM over there. So yeah, it's pretty good work over here so far. So yeah, we're very interested in explaining this Beterbiev situation in full detail. I watched this fight 4 times after my first watch, so I've had 5 total watches so far of the fight. And as I scored it, I have to say, a Bevel win. It could have gone either way, but the rounds were just so tight, and I had Beterbiev winning based off of not just the punches being thrown, but I could also tell by how he was coming forward and how he was using effective aggression. His he wasn't sitting back doing clown shit. Bevel, on the other hand, I felt like he gave too much ground when he should have held his ground more. You're supposed to hold your ground in the sport of boxing. If you give away too much ground and it's a close fight, it's also at the account of the judges of what style do they prefer. Do they prefer a counter puncher? Do they prefer a swarmer? Do they prefer a destroyer? Do they want somebody coming forward like a pressure fighter? That right there is always the biggest question. Right there is, who are the judges? What are they looking for exactly? Not every judge is the same judge. So yeah, of course, certain judges prefer certain styles. So clearly, I think there's a lot of close rounds that Beterbiev won, but that should not take away from Bevel's performance, and he put out one hell of a display of skill and of bravery, heart, everything above. Nothing should be, and nobody should say anything bad about Dmitry Bivol. He did exactly what he was supposed to do out there. I just feel like if he would have had more conditioning, and if he would go, if he'd like go out there and train in the desert, like kind of like Creed 2, but not quite. Like he needs to go and get his mind off of shit. And this man recently came off of a divorce and everything like that. So who knows, that may still be fucking with his head. He seemed, if Dmitry Bivol would have turned it up a gear, I think he would have won this fight on points, no doubt. But you can't expect to win a fight when you're sitting there losing in the championship rounds. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are as a champion, or or if you're fighting for a vacant belt. Don't expect to win after getting blown out your last 3 rounds. I mean, to me, Beterbiev imposed his will, locked him down, kept on walking him. Bivol just gave up too much ground. Literally, the punch count, the punches landed difference was 5, man, which is pretty epic if you ask me. So, but we also have to look at ring generalship. We got to look at effective pressure. We got to see if those punches were really that clean. Bivol and Beterbiev were landing a bunch of arm punches. But what happened? Bivol was investing in more arm punches than Beterbiev was. And a lot of people were getting excited about it. How many times have I told people on these streams that punching somebody to the arm is not a scoring point? Like, the more you keep on hoping that an arm puncher is going to win based off of arm punches, the more you're gonna get disappointed. You know, like Beterbiev, every time he hit Bivol, it was like, oh God, I gotta get out of here. Well, when Bivol's hitting Beterbiev's like, okay, I'm gonna walk in you down a little more, right? So, so that right there, you gotta look at how was Bivol absorbing the punches? Who's damaged? Who was being damaged more, right? That's what I look at as on top of the factors of punch count and all that stats, conky box or any, rather if you go by the conky box numbers or you scored your own self like I did, and I ended up with a similar result to them judges. I actually had it. It could have been 7-5. You could argue an 8-4 for Beterbiev, and that wouldn't be outside of any mark. But it really depends on what rounds. I mean, a lot of these rounds were so close, and it's really styles preference. What is your style? Pick your poison. I feel like this was a pick your poison kind of fight for these judges. It was that freaking close, man. I don't care what anyone says. But saying Bivol was robbed is just ridiculous. You're listening to Eddie Hearn and Turkey Al Sheikh. I mean, how many times have they laced up a glove at all? How many times have they laced up their own gloves? I guarantee you they've never boxed before. So there you go. Are any of them judges? No. So why do I need to listen to Eddie Hearn or Turkey Al Sheikh? It seems to me like Turkey Al Sheikh fumbled his Canelo back by Beterbiev destroying, Beterbiev getting the decision. The way I see it is, oh man, I fumbled my bag. Now I need to try to get a rematch. You know what I mean? That's exactly how I see it. Yeah, like Eddie Hearn, like you need to be asking Eddie Hearn and Turkey Al Sheikh. Not all this shit, man. Because Beterbiev was he was more enforceful. He was the enforcer last night. There was no doubt about that. Bivol stood in there tough, like I said, but his toughness took him the distance, and that right there, I appreciate out of Bivol because I would rather see a 12-round tactical affair like this than seeing him get blasted out. Because I have a lot of respect for Bivol, like I do Beterbiev. But rather, if you're a Beterbiev fan or a Bivol fan, I must say that there's one thing we all have, and we have one opinion that's alike. And that right there is a rematch. We need a fucking rematch. I do not blame anybody for calling for a rematch because it was tactical. It was close. I want to see the rematch. But it's up to Beterbiev, or it's up to Bivol and Eddie Hearn and his manager, who clearly made a statement at the presser yesterday after the fight, and Beterbiev, on top of that, coming out saying that he doesn't feel like he's not a great boxer and he's not a bad boxer. He's just a very humble person. Beterbiev is, and Bivol is just as humble. And when you have two humble guys get in the ring and put on a performance like last night, we got to see a second fight. I don't care what anyone says. I believe Bivol just sharpens up just a little bit, works on stamina, works on getting more grit. Perhaps go out in the desert, kind of like Creed 2. Go out there and get a little more tough, and actually practice stiff stabbing punches to really hurt his opponent. I think he can beat Beterbiev, because if you can't hurt Beterbiev, he's just going to keep on coming forward on you. And that's just common sense. You're not going to win too many rounds in most of these guys' cards off of the back foot. You get hit, you're running. That's kind of a bad impression for judges, regardless of the style of prep. So that right there is number one. I mean, now as far as guys like the manager of Bevel's manager and Eddie Hearn launching an inquiry on what occurred yesterday. That's quite a bit of an overreaction, if you ask me. When you do something like that, okay, you're kind of like full of yourself at that point. Just go and get your L avenged. Call for the immediate rematch. Neither Turki Al-Sheikh nor Eddie Hearn are a sanctioning body. So they need to clear this by the sanctioning bodies first. And then once they, and perhaps, pay the sanctioning body a little bit under the table, let's get this fight on the road. Let's get this rematch up and going. I'm all up with it, as long as they're up with it. But if they're not, it's going to be absolute pandemonium, because people are going to be like, oh, Beterbiev doctor rematch and all this other crap. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think a lot of people are also mad because of one occurrence that happened before and after the decision. I believe you guys are upset with the fact that Beterbiev had the Chechen head of state in his corner before and after the decision was read out. All you guys hating on that. You can't beat that, man. You had some badass people over there meeting up over there. And when the first thing I heard when he came in Beterbiev's corner last night, I was in a Discord BC. And the first thing I heard when that Chechen head of state went to the corner, what was it that I heard? Oh, it's gonna be a robbery. It's gonna be a robbery. I was hearing robbery before it even happened. And that's part of the reason why this right here is my reaction. Quit crying, man. Quit gambling. Look at the title of this, bro. Most of the people that are complaining robbery were drunk last night off their ass, losing their money on some bets and fucked up their parlays and their straight bets. That's not on me. That's not on the fighters. That's not on the commission. That's not on the promoters. That's on you, who went out gambling. If you lost money yesterday on that fight, don't gamble, bro. So that's the fact of the matter. Don't get butthurt because of decision, bro. Just think about it next time before you post a bet. You banked on Beterbiev to lose this fight. That's what it is. You listened to the wrong people. You banked on that knee injury. You banked on that knee injury. I believe it hindered Beterbiev a little bit, but it didn't cut him out completely. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I say his knee is probably 85% of what it was before the injury, to say the least. I believe if he would have had that extra 15%, it probably would have been a whole different scenario. It would have most definitely been more of a wider margin, because Bevel was not liking what he was getting last night. Beterbiev, you heard it himself. Beterbiev punched him his arm and knotted up underneath his freaking eye. Beterbiev was coming to take his head off. If you're sitting on the back foot, right? You have to make your opponent miss you a lot. Because if you're in a situation like that where it's really close like that and he's pressuring forward on you, you're leaving yourself open for decision. Okay? You have to fight a certain way in counter punching, bro. You have to, ring generalship is different, footwork is different. The way you throw your punches are different. So you have to really, really look at the responsibility of each individual style. Because if you don't, you're gonna be broken down, wondering why fighters seem to be digressing. You know, their performance digresses through the rounds. You know, like that's not. Let's be real here. We need to realize that the response. Bivol he did a good job, but he wasn't great enough to really pull away with it. He didn't make Beterbiev miss enough. Because if you're a counter puncher, that is your responsibility, is making your opponent miss. You know, that is really, really a focal point. You know, what was his responsibility? Who did their job better? You know what I mean? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Who was affected by the damage? Who maintained that ring generalship? Who was the man whose hand was raised at the end and the right man won indeed? But Bivol, if he conditions himself harder, comes back to a potential rematch, I believe Bivol can win the fight. Because Beterbiev, he's definitely in an awkward, precarious, peculiar position here, because his you never know how the knee's going to be affected after that performance. You know, will he age even more? You know, I believe that Bivol most definitely can win the rematch. But he needs to go back. He needs to work. He needs to improve. Because if he doesn't, the result is going to be the same, or Beterbiev is going to knock him out. In which it'll be a complete waste of my time in trying to advocate for a Bivol rematch. If he goes in there and gets his head knocked off and doesn't perform to the ability that he should. So it's on Dmitry Bivol and his team to go back to the drawing board and to really find out how they can develop harder punches to keep Beterbiev off of him. Because if he does not, the result will be the same as it was, if not worse. It was a close fight. It was a great fight. It was an epic fight. And I agree with Turkey. Even though I bloody hate the man, right? I agree with Turkey. This was probably the best fight in the past 20 years. When it comes to tactical prowess, you cannot beat that in the past 20 years. That was a masterclass performance by both fighters. I don't want to hear it. But all you have to say, you want to laugh at somebody when they fail at their greatest point. I'm not going to do that to Bivol. I'm going to say this to Bivol. Go back to the drawing board, work, and improve. We're going to see in the rematch. If it happens, let's see what Turkey al-Sheikh, and all the management, both of the fighters' management get together. You know, they need a unified front. They need to contact the sanctioning bodies to see if they're on board. Because I will tell you this much. If any mandatories are due, that will get ahead of undisputed. Or it'll end up like like the IBF with the Terrence Bud Crawford situation, or the IBF with the Usyk situation. When you can't just sit there and ignore sanctioning bodies' rules. So we have to really see if there's any mandatories popping up through the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, and the WBC. So that's exactly my points here. I'm not going to come on here and trash Bevel, but I'm saying people need to stop crying robbery because they're like a little kid when they lose in a game, like in a board game or some shit. They're like that little German kid back in 2005 or 6 that was real famous for smashing his keyboard from playing the Unreal tournament. And like little kids going, ah, smashing their freaking controllers because they lose a video game. That's exactly how I saw last night. It was ridiculous, man. That's why I didn't even get on social media last night after that. After a certain point, because I was watching, I was like, I'm not going to do myself any service listening to other people talk about what they saw. All I need to do is get back in here and watch this fight over and over and over again to see if I got it right. And the same result on the first watch was the same result as the 5th watch. I'll tell you that much. Because that right there, I watch fights very, very closely. I love cutting out the commentary because you can be swayed by commentary. I really do not like listening to these commentators trying to sway the fight, or, sway the casuals watching. I don't give a shit about someone's score or the unofficial scorecard that someone has at ringside, because they're not a judge. It's clear as day. It's clean as day. Jerry Tasker, you're a little bit over the top on that, man. I mean, 8-4 beef. Are you just saying that because Beterbiev got a 116-112 on your boy? I mean, look at the fight real closely, man. You're gonna see that it's just don't pay attention to the CompuBox numbers. Is all I'm asking you, bro. Because number one, the computers can be flawed very easily. But what I'm saying is, go back and watch the fight over and over again if necessary, so your souls can be at peace with this. Because I got to see the war 5 times yesterday, and 5 times before I went to sleep. That was awesome, if you ask me, because it's like watching a super fight all over again and again. I'm not going to say anything bad about that. It was a little bit dreadful before I went to sleep. But once I went to sleep, I was at peace with the fact with Beterbiev winning that fight. But if you don't have the same passion as I do for this sport, don't look at the scorecards. Don't listen to the commentators. Like don't pay attention to those guys, because they have nothing to do with what's going on in that ring. Their job is to run their yaps. That's all their job is. And you guys if you're dumb enough to listen to a commentator over an actual judge, then freaking, you just need to stop watching boxing, bro. Because these guys are paid with agendas. You might as well hop on the biggest bandwagon in boxing and roll with it. I really don't know who would be the biggest bandwagon in boxing right now, but whether if you're hopping on with Canelo or Buzz Usyk or whoever. I mean, whomever you want to follow, that's your choice. But you know, like a lot of people are banking on Bivol winning this fight so we could see a Bivol Canelo showdown. That's what a lot of people are wanting, and that's why a lot of people are upset because you know that Canelo's not going to get in there with Beterbiev. I'll tell you that much. And I also saw a funny picture of Bivol's wife streaming the fight on her television. Like she didn't buy it. No, they were watching it off of some freaking dark website. She didn't even buy the fight. Bivol took 2 L's yesterday, bro. Oh man. And I'm not trying to down him like that, but after his wife posted those pictures yesterday, I mean, come on, bro. Yeah, I want to see Beterbiev versus Canelo. I can tell you exactly how to score a prize fight. Quit with your quit thinking that all judges are the same. Okay? Because not all judges are the same. Some judges prefer the back foot. Some judges prefer the front foot. Just saying. Who's coming forward? Who's pressuring? Who's doing their job better? You should know this, man. You're just sitting there looking at conky box numbers, bro. I know exactly what you're doing. I mean, every time Bivol got hit, he was definitely on his bike. I mean, being on your bike is not going to win you fights anymore like that, bro. Unless if you're a humongous draw with a humongous situation going on, like you must be over as hell with your promoters if you're going to get away with that. But Bivol needs to up his work rate. I mean, Beterbiev threw an insane amount of punches. I believe Beterbiev threw about 1,000 punches. He was trying harder in the eyes of the judges. That's exactly why they scored it for him. Who works harder in the ring? But being on your back foot, using your legs is working hard too. It is. As long as you're countering and making a miss. But if you're not making a miss enough, of course Beterbiev is going to get the points decision on you in a close fight because he's a harder puncher. He's the kind of puncher that doesn't just dink you and it's just a little hit by a pillow. No, he hits you and you have 2 options. You either stand there and take a freaking battering, or you freaking move out the way and get on your bike. Like Bivol did time after time when he got cracked yesterday. I was very impressed with Bivol's heart and candor yesterday, regardless of the result. You know, he's a tough man. He needs to get his get back. Not only he needs to get his get back times 2. He needs to get his get back on Beterbiev. He needs to get his get back on his wife, bro, for being a whore and a bitch, to say the least. And yeah, I mean, what else can we say on that? The majority of backfoot bitches. You know, like if you're a backfoot bitch that hardly throws punches, you probably think that. But in a close fight, you're not going to win against a fucking pressure fighter lands harder than you. I'm sorry, bro. Ring generalship, aggression. Who had more damage on the other opponent? And I guarantee you, damage. That goes to Beterbiev already. He damaged Bevel more than Bevel damaged him. Look at their faces. There's your first right there. Second, ring generalship. Who set the tempo, guys? I didn't see Bevel setting the tempo. I saw Bevel giving up too much ground. And those two things alone, those 2 to 3 things alone are enough to lose you any fight, especially when the punches landed are very close. See, if you just look at, again, for the 1,000th time, if you look at the ConkyBox numbers only, of course you're going to see that. But that's not the only criteria in scoring a fight. You're not even doing 1/4 of what you should be doing in judging a fight, to say the least. I mean, I was so impressed with both fighters last night. Hell, I was even impressed with some of the other fights on the card. I mean, Eubank Jr. He showed out against Camille. Camille was, he's an all right fighter. But I kindly expected the result, to be honest. I had Ben Whitaker. I believe that situation is up to debate. One could argue, like I was talking with some friends a couple of hours ago about the Ben Whitaker fight with Liam Cameron. And what they told me is that they actually thought that it was going to be a disqualification because Cameron freaking rushed Whitaker over the top rope. But luckily enough, it wasn't that controversial. Both of them did go over the rope. It kind of is what it is. Injuries are prone to happen. If you've ever been in a ring before, you should know that apron is a lot harder than the center of the ring. So you land on that apron, you're gonna feel some good hardwood hitting your backside. I'm not surprised at all that Ben Whitaker was injured yesterday off of that stupid series of events. Liam Cameron was putting the pressure on him, and Liam Cameron was making Ben Whitaker fight more squared up instead of bouncing around like the killer clown that we know him to be. I mean, I have to give credit to Liam Cameron, but that bull rushing over the top rope shit is exactly what costed the decision there. Like it was a draw to say the most about it, but I just found that a little bit of cartoonish like occurrence right there. That was a very, very unfortunate series of events. I think you're just mad because our guy Kirilov was at his side when the decision was. Everybody's like, "Oh, there's the guy right there, man. It's a robbery. It's a robbery, bro." They were saying a robbery before the decision was called, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's very, very different for these clowns that keep on yelling, Oh man, it's a robbery, man. Man, go get you some. Let me tell you, go get yourself. Go pour yourself a cup of milk, right? Go put it in the microwave for about a minute or so to warm it up, and go drink it and take your crying ass to sleep. Okay, that's exactly what I think about it. You know, that's this is ridiculous, man. Like, do you need me to? Do you need me to sing "My Heart Will Go On" by? That's exactly what they want. But I'm not going to sing that song because it hurts my head. So you guys need to go watch Titanic or some movie with the saddest ending of all. You know, to me, those movies don't really get to me like that, but they seem to get to you guys. So I don't know what to say, man. No, I'm not, man. You want to call me that? You want to call me that? Well, I'm not the one crying robbery, am I? So how am I the bitch? Because in the last time I checked, a bitch is the one that complains all the time. Like all these Bevo fans complaining right now. I can understand your fighter put up a valiant effort, bro. He put up a valiant effort. He put up a badass effort. But don't sit there and cry robbery. No, let your fighter go back to the drawing board and see what happens, bro. In the rematch, I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be enough. There's gonna be enough pressure for a rematch. I'm pretty sure of it. But I'm like 90% sure this fight's gonna happen. The only reason why I say there's 10% is because the possibility of a mandatory. No, this is a close decision. This is a close decision. This is why you score fights round by round. That's exactly why you do this. You don't look at the conky box numbers when the fight's over and then assume who wins based off of conky box. It's a round by round fight. You know what I mean? That's how the fight is scored. The pressure per round, the damage per round. Come on, guys, use your head. Bevo needs to G-check his wife. He needs to go and get like ripped as hell, right? Like out in the like Creed 2 when Adonis Creed went to the desert and got absolutely shredded so he could get his get back over Victor Drago. That's what Bevo needs to do, homie. And before he does that, he needs to go slap his wife again, bro, for being a whore. You know what I mean? That's what he needs to do. Like just better Bevo. Bevo's got the money. He can handle that shit. Like it's not my fault. Bevo's wife is rumored to rumored to be a new passed around bitch amongst the boxing people. I don't care. That's not my problem. That's his problem for choosing such a woman in his life. If you're dumb enough to dump your money into a woman like that, oh my god. Yeah, this is just so easy, man. This is just so easy. I didn't like it at first. I was kind of hesitant about making this stream. Then I was like, you know what? All these crybabies, the bickering. I woke up this morning And I just saw more and more, channels with the titles of robbery, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, or it was a robbery outright. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Go cry me a river, bro. Because you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere at all. Not watching every aspect of a fight. What are the responsibilities of a judge? Look it up. And then you follow those responsibilities. And I promise you, if you go by the book, you'll see what I saw. You see what Lord Pigeon saw. You see what everyone in the PPP saw. Outside of Pinche, of course, who claimed Beevil robbery, but Pinche, I question his IQ every 2 or 3 streams. But regardless, it was a close fight. It was a good fight, and I hope to see the rematch very, very soon. All right, let's check out the comments. All right, salute Canes. Salute Canes. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the StreamYard to see if anybody can get and deal with the smoke on this special PPP edition, the Beterbiev after party, cuz that's exactly what it is. And don't be sad. Don't be sad, guys. Dropping that StreamYard, guys. Start it now. Now we need to see who's gonna come in and cook. Yeah, we're gonna be watching closely now. We're gonna be watching closely now, in case if there's anybody trying to come up here on some D-bombing stuff. Jerry Tasker, you sound like you're in a mood because you got too drunk and lost your money on a parlay. It's not my fault. You exhausted your last $5 or so on this parlay that you lost last night, Jerry. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry that you lost your last $5 on this parlay last week. So go learn the sport of boxing. Go back to the fundamentals. Learn to throw a jab. Learn to step to the right. Learn to step to the left. Learn to step forward. Learn to step back. Right? And then you take it from there, man. It's a simple game. It's a simple game here. But hell, you don't even know how to step to the left or step to the right. And that's the simplest thing to do in this sport. Again, and part of me is thinking that you never laced up a pair of gloves in the first place, bro. Just by the way you're talking. Well, first off, I'm not even a fanboy. I'm a realist. I'm a fan of the truth in the sport of boxing. Right? And the truth is, it was a close fight. Round by round, it was close. And Beterbiev took the better of the rounds. Just deal with it. Because the sooner you do, the sooner we can get on to the rematch. Because the more people cry robbery and the more they cry robbery and want to overturn the decision, right? The more animosity there will be, in regards to the fight not happening because of the bicker. Because I've seen fighters say, fuck you, you're not getting your rematch, you complain like a bitch. There's no rematch clause, so I'm not obligated to fight you, and they give you the middle finger. That's exactly what happens. I'm not a fangirl. I just know the sport of boxing. I know the way negotiations. And I've seen fighters tell other fighters to fuck off because of similar situations to this. There's no rematch clause. I hope you know that. There's no rematch clause here. Beterbiev is not obligated to fight Bivol next. Nor will he, especially if there's just overall no reason to. Like you have to see if this shit goes through or not. Like all this running around yelling robbery, yelling for the decision to be overturned, and all this other shit. That is the worst possible thing you can do as a losing fighter. In this instance. Because you're just going to make it worse. Or it's going to take more time just to set up the second fight. I'm just telling you, man. I saw Wilder and Fury locked up in a litigation and arbitration for freaking 18 months. Is that what you want to see?
Yo, what's shaking, Talk?
We have Mad Chad. We have Mad Chad here. All right, what's going on here?
You got that cross-dressing fucking Phyllis blocking me in the chat, Talk.
Well, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those.
Well, see you later. See you later. Go
got...
fuck yourself, you fucking ducking fucking weirdo. See you later, Talk. Go fuck yourself, Talk. Go fuck yourself, you fucking weirdo. Bye, buddy. Bye.
All right, then fine. Go fuck yourself too, Chad. I mean, it's not my fault that the problem is there. You know, like, I mean, I don't know what to say there. He's just up in his feelings. I don't know. Clearly, I struck a nerve on some of these Bivol fans. You know what I mean? And clearly, I struck a nerve. These guys are all up in their heads. They're on suicide watch. Oh my God. We might have to have the Bivol fan. We might have to open up the Bivol fans counseling services so they can cope with the loss. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, guys. People saying go fuck myself. Wow, bro. Wow. That's hilarious there. I mean, I'm just sitting here handing off super wrenches, bro. He says go fuck me. Does fuck me because I have multiple people in here with super wrenches. I have, let's see, I have Alonzo. I have Alonzo and I say Alonzo and Pigeon hate each other, but I don't. I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not gonna sit there and shit on either one of the guys. I enjoy watching them argue back and forth. You know what I mean? So if somebody tell Mad Jab if he's so hell bent on talking shit and not wanting to be blocked, tell him to come back here, right? Tell him to come back so I can give him a super wrench, bro. That's exactly what I think. And so somebody tell Mad Chad, bro. If he really wants a super wrench, I'll give one to him, all right. But you have to ask more respectful, like Alonzo did. You know, over there at Rap Stars. You know what I mean? You gotta really want it, bro. You gotta really want it, bro. You can't just sit there hop up on here and just say fuck yourself, bro. Come on, bro. This is a PPP stream, bro. At the end of the time, and at the end of the day, I'm nothing but an outcast over there at the tavern, it seems, and it seems like I'm an outcast over there at the Phantom Zone, courtesy of the Phantom. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there you go, bro. There you go. Don't give me a problem, because the problem you create. You're the one who appointed Phantom as your right hand man. So I should have a problem with you, Mad Chad, by proxy, because you're part of the reason why Phantom got as much exposure as he has. You're the one who let him sit there and host the tavern. And, you know, like, I don't know. You know, who really should be the one saying fuck you? Is it me saying, should it be me saying fuck you to Matt Chad? Because I believe I have more of a personal reason to say it. Don't say fuck you unless if you have a really good reason to say fuck you. Don't be off in your feelings, man. We're here as counselors. We need counselors. This is the official Bevo counseling or Bevo fan counseling service. You know, like, you know, we don't. Unfortunately, we're running low on towels. I've been cleaning up Bevo fans' tears ever since about 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, U.S. You know, and right now it is 4:29, 4:30 Central Standard Time, p.m. U.S. currently. So it's only been 23 hours, right, since the fight has happened, and people are just over the top, bro. Cleaning lady. I mean, cleaning lady is an interesting concept, I must say. Yeah, I saw that one, Lord Pigeon. Yeah, the freaking skeleton in the hospital bed. Yeah, bro. That was interesting, guys. PPP, man, we killers up in here, bro. We sitting here with that 100% landing percentage up in here, cuz we certified killers up here. Every punch we throw lands, man. Every punch we throw lands. Easy work. Easy work.
நான் போகிறேன் மேலே மேலே பூலோகமே காலின் கீழே விண்மீன்களின் கூட்டம் என் மேலே பூவாளியின் நீரைப் போலே நீ சிந்தினாய் எந்தன் மேலே நான் பூக்கிறேன் பன்னீர் பூ போலே தடுமாறி போனேன் அன்றே உன்னை பார்த்த நேரம் அடையாளம் இல்ல ஒன்றை கண்டேன் நெஞ்சின் ஓரம் ஏன் உன்னை பார்த்தேன் என்றே உள்ளம் கேள்வி கேட்கும் ஆனாலும் நெஞ்சம் அந்த நேரத்தை நேசிக்கும்
Yeah, shout out to that song Non-Pogering, bro. Oh my goodness. The way that slaps is just something different, bro. Just saying, bro. So it's like you, even if you don't understand it, it's got an interesting little vibe to it. Just a relaxing vibe, bro. Because, you know, these Bevo fans just need to relax, bro. They need to relax. You know, that's the reason why I'm trying to play this music, you know, for all the timid boxing fans that throughout the YTBC, you know, hopefully this is the Bevo Counseling Services, bro. We're here for them. You know, we're here for the Bevo fans that are upset. We want to hear from the Bevo fans that are upset. You know, I wish people would stop crying and just look forward to the rematch. Like, come on, bro. Let's be realistic. I mean, that's just the real thing, bro. I'm just going to shout out to Javed Ali, bro, and A.R. Rockman for putting this song here together. Jashine and Bahara 8.
कहने को जश्न बहारा है इश्क ये देख के हैरा है कहने को जश्न बहारा है इश्क ये देख के हैरा है फूल से खुशबू खफा खफा है गुलशन में छुपा है कोई रंज फिजा की चिलमन में
Yeah, I'm going to get the live version of that song just for an atmospheric vibe, of course. All right, let's see in the chat here. Play some YMCA for Chad. No, I got something even better for Mad Chad. I got something especially for Mad Chad, bro. But I can't play a song known as Big Guns right now because I've been getting warnings about playing that. Too many softies complaining about it. And so we're gonna play some real shit. Fuerza Regida.
Y pura fuerza rígida, viejo, otro pedo, viejo. Como latino, como chino, como chiquilín. Radicamos en South Centro, el negocio anda muy fuerte, esta zona controlamos. Polo blanco manejamos, para ser exacto, en cuadrito los mandamos. Comenzamos desde abajo.
And now, making his way to the ring, he is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo
All right. Well, it seems like these guys need God in their life. Honestly, they need some type of God or some type of higher inspiration. All right? Well, I got inspiration for them in a song that is very important for all these guys to hear. So here we go.
O thou beloved of my heart and soul, I have no refuge save thee. I raise no voice at dawn saving thy commemoration and praise. O thou beloved of my heart and soul, I have no refuge save thee. I raise no voice at dawn save him, like a commemoration and praise. Thy love encompasseth me, and thy grace is perfect. My hope is in thee. O God, give me, O God, give me a new life at every instant, and bestow upon me the breaths of the Holy Spirit at every moment. O God, give me, O God, give me a new life at every instant, and bestow upon me the breaths of the Holy Spirit at every moment, in order that I may remain steadfast in thy love, attain unto great felicity, in order that I may remain steadfast.
Yeah, I apologize about that. I had to stop that right there because some spectators do claim that that song creeps them out. So I apologize if that offends anybody. But you know, that actually is a religious song to an extent. So yeah. Let's see, comment, chat. Let's see who else is on, or if it's just. Yeah, a lot of people have been acting very strange lately, to be honest. So there's a lot of that going around these YTBC streets. You know, like this is an island away from the mainland YTBC. You know what I mean? This is not even YTBC, bro. You know, so we just here, bro. We just here talking box. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's turning into a cult. You know, it's like a cult of narratives and simping, bro. It's it's like a meme, bro, that never can be erased from anyone's mind. So yeah. But now it is time for me to do a mantra, and then from there we can continue some boxing.
This man hails from the kingdom of heaven. He is the.
All right then. Well, now it's time to talk a little more boxing. All right. These clowns are going out, bro, one by one. Like with what happened with like what is it we look forward to now? To me, there's only one thing we can look forward to next weekend, the 19th, the experience of William Skull. Now that right there is exactly been a talking point amongst the fans of the super middleweight division, especially. A lot of people have never seen William Skull. A lot of people don't even know who he is. And you're going to know who he is next weekend. You better tune in early because this fight's going to be in Germany. And the Germans like getting their fights out of the way. And of course, we learned that in a couple of instances. So, so you better tune in a little bit early if you're in the U.S. market. But if you're in Europe, or if you're over there in England and everything, you're a lot more closer to what's going on. So hopefully your clocks won't be too affected. But we have a very, very good switch hitting, absolute masterclass fighter in William Skull going up against Shishkin, bro. And this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. And the reason why I back Skull is because of his unique style. He doesn't lose composure, and he's effective one way or the other. He's a back foot fighter that can go forward and is not afraid to go forward, and he understands the rules of boxing. And I respect the man for it, regardless of what promotional company he's with. It's not my fault that Canelo lost control of the Undisputed situation, and all of a sudden now Aegon Promotions, or Aegon Sports Promotions, is hosting a world title fight for the first time in their history. And I just find that kind of hilarious for all these big promoters, because how in the hell did you let this happen, bro? Like, I'm not trying to go after the Canelo fans here on this, but I'm just saying, like, you lost control of the network the belt belongs to. Like, how do you lose control of the IBF title, bro? I mean, that IBF, typically the IBF, you see IBF champions usually in a Matchroom or PBC from time to time. You might see them over there, and really Japan, and of course, IBF champions are kind of distributed throughout the big promotions. But I just find this too hilarious that you lose control over one of the biggest belts at 168 pounds. And now, because you don't want to fulfill mandatories, that's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But we have to see how this plans out, But anyways, I have one more monster to play, you guys. To play, really, the Bevo fans that are really depressed right now, and Rama, is happiness. It's a god that resembles happiness in Hinduism, and I wanted to just share that with others, because they need some happiness in their life.
अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण अच्युत केशव हरि नारायण भव भयहरण वंदित चरण भव.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed right there, bro. They need a little happiness right there. But bringing in on this last point, in closing, this clown show is at an end. You know, all these guys are just crying because of the decision yesterday. I'm more intrigued with what we can do going from this point and hoping that all these fangirls realize what's going on, with actually knowing how to score a fight and thinking that you know how to score a fight. Those are two very different things. These clowns spreading narratives throughout social media today, it's hurting my head. And that was quite ridiculous right there, man. It's not my problem that you guys bet. It's not my problem that you guys have a gambling addiction. Don't come after me. Like, I've been retired from gambling since 2020. My time has come and gone in the gambling. I don't feel it really. Like I had I did some personal bets with people during that time frame, but that right there was hilarious. So all of these guys crying about losing their money and stuff. I mean, you're talking to a man that removed himself from the gambling altogether because unnecessary measures to really put things at risk. Unless if you can turn $5 into 500, I don't really want to hear it from you. I've heard stories about people that can turn $20 into $10,000, but those guys are few and far between, and they're usually people with huge pick'em sheets in the sport of soccer or football, as the Europeans know it. And these guys have hardcore gambling problems. I'm the reason why I see the majority disappointment here is all these guys losing their money. And this guy with this fake Kawhi Leonard thing going on, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if I don't really think he's Kawhi Leonard at all because I've seen him somewhere else. But I mean, Kawhi Leonard. I really doubt Kawhi Leonard is even likes the sport of boxing, to be honest with you. So, matter of fact, I think Kawhi Leonard wants to stay away from violence, especially since what happened to his dad, right in front of him. They used to work at a car wash together, if I'm not mistaken, and his dad was shot right in front of him. And so it's a very, very crazy situation that you would associate Kawhi Leonard. I am massively offended by that, but I'm just trolling right there. But I did see somebody with the Artur Beterbiev something down there, but That right there is hilarious. People just put these names out here. May I do, bro? I'm having a tequila in 1 hour. But look at this. It's me. Facts. Facts. And these people just have gambling problems, guys. It's like, unless if you can turn 5 into 500, man, $5 into 500, or 20 into 10K or something like that. Like, just come on, guys. Like, what are you doing here? These guys are betting hundreds of dollars on stupidity, on a fight that you know that it's going to be either a demolition job or a close fight. You know, like, come on. Now we have all these crybabies simping throughout the YTBC, probably running. It's like they bet terribly. Like, if you want to bet, like, at least make a decent go at it. You know, don't, like, think logically here. I heard this dumbass that bet on a Bevo to stop Beterbiev. I could tell you that wasn't gonna happen. And like a drunk man on a bum on the side of the street that hardly washes boxing can probably tell you that. I'm sure Pigeon, after 10 bottles of tequila, can tell you that. And you probably couldn't even understand him. You know, like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I like the small fights. To me, those are more profitable because, you know, you can, like, I would rather bet on undercards and shit that I know that's where it's going to go one way or the other. You guys are betting on these razor thin fights and really putting it on the line here. That's kind of stupid and irresponsible, in my opinion. I mean, these guys have gambling addictions. They need to go to Gamblers Anonymous, Lord Bishop. They're losing their money. They're putting up the title on their house for their gambling addiction. They're putting up the deed to their lands for this. And they lose. They're on suicide watch, guys. They're on suicide watch, like the Brazilians after the 1950 World Cup final, when everybody in Brazil was claiming that they were going to be champions and acting like they already were the champions before the final. And what happened? Uruguay scored on their asses, and people started jumping from the stadium rafters, jumping from like the silos that are tall like towers and shit. They were jumping off of those damn things. You guys are acting like it's that all over again. You're acting like it's the Americanazo all over, bro. Let's be real. I mean, Brazilians are passionate fans. I give them credit for that. But I'm telling you, the Bevo fan base is not that passionate, bro. They're just sitting here crying, robbery, 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 guys. Let's get to the sport of boxing, bro. You want to keep on betting, making problems after problem after problem for yourself. Bet on the fights. See in between the lines, guys. If something's gonna be razor thin or has the possibility of being razor thin, like, come on. Either go seek some real advice from some people with some gambling tips, or go to Gamblers Anonymous and quit altogether. Yeah, of course, David Ray Picasso and, you know, Nicolino Loche. I like one fighter Junior the Hitter Witter. And a lot of these guys have never heard of Witter. I like a fighter by the name of Salomo Aruch. It was a Greek boxer that went over 200-0 in his prime. But nobody knows who that is. Here's a picture of him right here. That picture was taken while he was in Auschwitz fighting professional German fighters that were also German officers. And they don't know who this is. This is one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. This guy was fighting open weights, like open weight fights against heavyweights. And he's down there, 135, 140, 150, 160 pounds, bro. And they don't know about him. That's because they're uneducated. They don't do research, Lord Pigeon. They don't do their research. Nor do they seem to care, because they're not real boxing fans. They're fans of making money. I mean, this guy here, Fernando Martinez, El Puma. Puma Martinez here, bro. Another fighter that Bam Rodriguez fans need to be wary of. This guy is no for Bam Rodriguez. And if you're a Bam Rodriguez fan, you tell him to avoid this man here. Yeah, not Shinga, bro. That was a weird fight. It was due to happen. Eventually, there's some shit that was gonna go down. The way he got clocked and everything, bro. I wasn't really that surprised at the end, even though I was rooting for Nochinga. I'm not gonna sit here and shit on the Japanese fighter. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The result did piss me off, but it's absolutely horrendous. And I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses for the fighter. Shivi Nochinga is an absolute good fighter, and I want to see him in the ring again. And congratulations to the Japanese man, and he did his job. That's all I gotta say. But that was the only belt, the only championship fight in the division. The other three belt holders moved up to 112 pounds, leaving 108 pounds vacant in 3 of the 4 sanctioning bouts. So now you have guys like Hirohito Gucci fighting. You have up there, you have Taraji, and of course moved up to 112. You have all these guys that from 108 just moving up, bro. I mean, if I'm Sivi Nochinga, I'd have to. Yeah, because they don't care to, bro. Because they don't study the sport. They want to pretend that they know the sport, and then they want to bring up all the big moments in history. But when it comes to these other fighters, right? When it comes to the other fighters, they don't care. They say, "Oh, there's not enough attention in the smaller weight classes, so I'm not gonna watch him." I'm literally a historian, a boxing historian. of high nature, bro. I am absolutely bringing in facts here, bro. I mean, even Bomba, the Puerto Rican fighter, moved up to 112 pounds. So I'm really I'm really looking forward to what comes of 112 pounds, and I'm also looking forward to. Oh man, I appreciate that, Lord Pigeon, because I mean, I already know that I'm levels above because I study the undercards. I study the lead cards, which are before the undercards. I study these things. Like I'm not trolling, and this is not a troll stream. This is an absolute serious stream. Like people need to stop crying. I'm trying to lessen and lessen my trolling, so the viewers can be on point with what I'm saying. Hell, I've even cut back on the hashish, and that's not too easy at all either. That's that right there is irritating, bro. That right there is just irritating. You guys just are absolutely horrendous, hating on facts and logic, bro. Like the CCD, as chaotic as it was, it was a fun, chaotic environment, I must say. The way the the streams be conducted, it was like a tyrant. It was like a mare's nest in there, bro. It was like you put two monsters in there and you see who gets torn into pieces, bro. Like if you didn't know shit, you got torn to pieces, bro. And they're acting like Beevil just swept every round in the beginning of the fight. Because if you get 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 4 rounds. I gave Beterbiev 4. I gave Beterbiev rounds 4 very, very easily. Also gave Beterbiev rounds. I also gave him one of the first 3 rounds quite easily as well. And letting people down, man. You can't be disgracing yourself, bro. You gotta lift yourself up, man. Some people, they piss and shit all over the place and roll in their own filth. No, you can't conduct yourself like that. That's what homeless bums do on the street when they lost all hope. That's facts. But we're upping the ante here. We're upping the ante here to these Beevil fans, to these. Well, you know what? This is no longer about Beevil Beterbiev here. This is about these simping clowns coming from the other servers, and you know whom I'm talking about. Trying to torment the integrity of this stream. How would Mad Chad feel? I never went on Mad Chad's going on there freaking firing off disrespectful like that towards the host. Never. Never. And he came on here like that, bro. Never. You know, we're bringing facts. You know, and if you don't like facts, you know, go to narratives. Go go live a life of lies and narratives. You know, I believe in facts. I like hearing him talk about what happened in Lewiston, Maine, between Ollie and stuff like that. I love watching, hearing him talk about, um, Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler is in my book an ATG. You know, he's definitely up there. You know, tough ass chin. You know, freaking tear you apart if you're not about it, and even if you were about it, you still got it. But Mexican boxing, you know, I like, but above all, I like guys like our boys, bro. Like our boys, man. All of them. I mean, Canelo. It's kind of hard for me to get on board with the Canelo thing because of certain things. But other Mexican fighters, I have no real legitimate problems with. You know, I just wish Canelo would fulfill his obligations. Yeah, Canelo going to 75 was a true roll of the dice. I'm not gonna shit on him for rolling the dice by any means. He dared for greatness. I respect that in a fighter, but because you dared for greatness once upon a time doesn't mean you can duck now. Like this is really weird, man. This is really weird. I hope he really, fights William Skull, Benavidez, Morel. I hope he fights the whole lot of them, but I it's hard for me because I like watching fights, these theoretical outcomes and everything like that. I want to see it. Yeah, Tarver was like, people always want to go with the most popular, not necessarily the best. You know what I mean? Pigeon, that's what it is. They go with the popular one. They go like the guys who were rooting for AJ because he was popular. The guys who are rooting for Deontay Wilder because he was popular. Not because they watched him from the amateurs on up. They just saw that, oh, this is a man on a crazy knockout spree who eventually became a WBC champ at heavyweight. And then when Wilder got cleaned out by Fury, and X-shaped form happened, and then the absolute demolition job in the third fight after 18 months of litigation and arbitration. And plus, finally, the fight preparations being able to go underway. Yeah, exactly, man. These guys are all, oh, who has the most followers on Instagram? Who has the most followers on it? Like, all this shit, like, it matters to certain people. I mean, but you don't go ducking somebody with less than 8,000 followers on Instagram just because they're not popular enough. You know what I mean? That's stupid. Because then you're making it about social. You know what I mean? You're making it about social credit. You know what I mean? You don't get social credit in the business world when you're not fulfilling your obligations. You only get that credit once you fulfill your obligation. You don't avoid your obligations and then call yourself a champion of the sanctioning body. I'm just saying the IBF is the most trickiest little thing suckers to deal with. You saw it with the way the Crawford got stripped. You know, we definitely saw it. Because they had all that time. Crawford had 2 to 3 months to inquire on a fight with the for the like the IBF mandatory, which at the time was Duran Boots Ennis. And what happened? He wasted his time. He kept on boasting about his victory. He kept on banking on a rematch, thinking that this mandatory was going to be a problem. And what happened? He got stripped. All right, let's see what happened with Canelo. He had 2 years, over 2 years. Literally, December of 21 was when the month after Plant got stopped by Canelo. What happened, guys? William Skull was named IBF mandatory. What happened to Canelo months back? They stripped him. It's simple, guys. If you don't fight the guys coming up the ladder, you don't deserve to be at the top. That's just how it goes in the real world. A manager at his store, all right, if he doesn't fulfill his obligations, somebody from corporate is going to come down and say you're not good enough to be a manager. We're going to demote your ass. Now, that's exactly what happens, guys. That's exactly what happens, guys. You know, it's all reality. Let's all be a reality for once. And there's a lot to get to. There's a lot to get to. Yeah, like where's Jamal Charlo, bro? Like he's like gone. He's got. I guess he's still celebrating with that Canelo payday. You know what I mean? That's what I think is going on. But at the end of the day, that's all there's to be said. This is Emperor Telkinese of Telkinese Sports Media signing out.
सितारे देखो हमारे शत्रु तो सारे हारे जय हो। हम वो सिपाही जो है सदा ही रूप शिवा का धारे जय हो। हे आज अंधेरे छटे हैं कम हुए हैं घटे हैं, कल जो दुश्मन यहाँ थे आज पीछे हटे हैं। गाती ये धरती है गाता ये अंबर है, गाती है सारी हवा। तेरे मन में शिवा मेरे मन में शिवा, सांसों में शिवा प्राणों में शिवा, हर घड़ी में शिवा हर दिशा में शिवा आज गूंजा हुआ है जय जय शिवा। तेरे मन में शिवा मेरे मन में शिवा, सांसों में शिवा प्राणों में शिवा, हर घड़ी में शिवा हर दिशा में शिवा आज गूंजा हुआ है जय जय शिवा। तेरे मन में शिवा।
मराठी मातीचा छत्रपती सह्याद्रीचा, आठवे शिवाजी राजा आज गा वंदितो तुम्हा शिवराया, राहू दे कृपेची छाया, आठवे शिवाजी राजा आज गा।
सारी दीवारें भी सारी तलवारें भी तुमने दुश्मन की अब तोड़ दी है। आई थी आंधियां जिस दिशा से यहाँ उस दिशा मोड़ दी है।
पार उतरना ही था ये तो करना ही था ये तो होना ही था, सुन ले भाऊ उनको जाना ही था हमको आना ही था ये तो होना था भाऊ।
हाँ देश भी आज अपना है, देश पे राज अपना है, अपना ही तो सिंहासन है और जो है ताज अपना है। हिम्मत की अग्नि में लोहा पिघलता है, विश्वास हमको हुआ। तेरे मन में शिवा
मेरे मन में शिवा,
सांसों में शिवा
प्राणों में शिवा,
हर घड़ी में शिवा
हर दिशा में शिवा
आज गूंजा हुआ है जय जय शिवा। तेरे मन में शिवा मेरे मन में शिवा, सांसों में शिवा प्राणों में शिवा, हर घड़ी में शिवा हर दिशा में शिवा।